Chat, can you hear me? You got to be kidding me. I've been talking for an hour. You've got to be kidding me. I've got to restart this whole thing. How? I just got new software. Oh, you see? Oh, my God. It just started? How the hell did it just start? You're kidding me. I've been talking to no one. I was looking in chat. You're kidding me right now. Yo. You've got to be kidding me right now. Listen, give me an ear. Give me an ear sign. No, give me an eyes. Give me an eye sign if I just came on. If I just popped on your freaking screen. No way. I just came on. No. All right. Could you hear me the entire time that the background was going on or no? Give me an ear if you could hear me the entire time that the background was down. Give me a thumbs down if you could not hear me the entire time. Could you hear me? So thumbs down if you could not hear me. Bro. Oh my God. I think it's because I had to hit start streaming. You've got to be kidding me. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? I'm going to have to like timestamp it and do some other shit. I was like, man, there was nobody streaming. Chat's being lame right now. Chat's being super lame. Yes, Devin, you did call it 30 minutes ago, didn't you? You chode. Damn it. I'm stupid. I'm stupid, guys. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I need to take off my headset because I'm just sweaty and gross. Well, let's get into it, shall we? Let's get into it. We're going to talk about some stuff today, and I already talked about it, so now I'm just going to get right into it and then give you all the good stuff. Hey, weirdos. Welcome to a new Angry Streams. Guess what? I got a new streaming software. It works fantastic. I still don't know how to work it because I'm what some people might call the world's youngest boomer. And I'm somewhat a bit of a tard when it comes to, you know, stuff. Either way, we're here now. Don't worry. Once the stream goes live, well, it's already live now, but once it's done, I'll cut the first starting opening shenanigans and we'll get right to business like we are now. So good afternoon, weirdos. Good evening. Good night. Skipping Monday Night Football? Me too. Really don't care about the Falcons in Philly. They're not in my conference, so whatever. But I came here to talk to you guys about some shenanigans. A new thing that happened to me that has set me off a little bit, and I can't wait to get into it with you. To get into it with you. Damn it, Devin. I'm never going to forget that. 30 minutes ago, I can't believe I forgot to hit start streaming. Anyway, here we are. Let's get to it. So a couple of days ago on the normal channel on Angry Cops, I posted a video. Cheer up. I posted a video about a VFW post being opened in Colorado. And it's not just opened anywhere in Colorado. It opened up in a prison in Colorado. And here's the whole backstory, right? There's some bad dudes in it. All right. Bad dudes worse than Corn Pop. I know. And Corn Pop was a bad dude. But these dudes are also bad dudes. So let's break it down. I go into the video and I say, hey, here's the deal, VFW. I like that you're going into prisons and trying to assist veterans on rehabilitation so that they can come out of prison, all right? Find a job, find placement somewhere, maybe even find a living situation. So then they're not just veterans on the street again that happen to have a criminal record, right? They did serve honorably, then they made a mistake, but still veterans. Let's reach out and help them. And, you know, maybe the VFW gets a little bit of money from their dues that they pay. And I don't know how much money they're going to get from guys in prison other than bags of Cheetos and maybe some, you know, prison sausage. Don't worry, Chauncey. I got it. It's not the software. I just switched over to OBS. So everything's going to be fine now, including the Discord streams when I have Veteran with the sign on. I was able to fix that. That's why I had to change my streaming software. I'm just dumb. I made a mistake. I didn't hit a button. It's all good. So anywhoosies, all about rehabilitation of veterans. But what did the the Department of the Colorado VFW, what did they do? Well, they put Post 12226 in a prison, and its members, well, they consist of a lot of people that are in for life. So there's no way that they're getting out. They're not joining the community again. They've done such heinous acts that they're in jail for life. And the only person that has the potential to get parole out of the several people I'm going to talk to you about today is a guy that held a woman hostage in her home for a while and gave her, we'll call it grape drink. He was drinking grape with her. He grape drank her for 3 hours while also suffocating her with a pillow numerous times, telling her that she was going to die. 3 hours he gave her grape drink. That's what he did. And he's up for parole in 2026, if I'm not mistaken. So that's the only person that could potentially get out. And do you want that guy in your membership? I certainly wouldn't. I think that wood chippers would work fairly well for him. But quickly, to get to the main point, the VFW of Colorado responded. And that made me very upset. I didn't like that. I didn't like the response, and I'll tell you why. What should happen? Now, let's make this absolutely clear. I like the VFW. The VFW personnel are great. I think that just like every large organization, the VFW can make a mistake. And what's important is that when a mistake is made, we, as veterans in the veteran community, say, hey, you made a mistake, which is what I feel like I did. Now, a mistake that people often make when getting called out on the internet or having somebody disagree with them on the internet, a common mistake that people do when they're called out is one of three things. A, they'll just ignore it and hope that it goes away. Not a good look. B, they get on the defensive and defend themselves and what they're doing is right. Or C, they go on the offensive and start telling the other person how wrong they are and, you know, questioning them and their morals and all that other stuff. Now, the correct answer would be D. Admit that a mistake was made, fix it, and then show everybody how you fixed it and the conclusion that you got at the end, right? Hey, we see this thing. You told us that this is wrong. We're going to look into it. And then the follow-up. Hey, we looked into it. Here are some changes that we implemented to make sure that you guys are okay with this. Awesome. Great. Grand. Wonderful. Well, the VFW of Colorado decided to make a post doubling down. They did B instead of D. Always choose the D. They chose B. They chose to be on the defensive and say, hey, what we're doing is right, and we're all fantastic people, and yada, yada, yada. Well, before we get into their response, I'm going to quickly do a rundown of the people, the members of Post 12226 in the Colorado prison. So quickly, let's go. Let's start at the top. We're starting at the top. By the way, feel free to use all these links that are here. I'm going to put it in newsread mode. Boom. Awesome. Okay. Quickly, I'm going to run these. Why am I using cop voice? What happened? Oh, because it's about to get copied. So here's Thomas Stewart. All right. Let's talk about Thomas. He is the commander. Oh, look at that. He's the commander. He's the commander of this post. 1226 or 1226 in the, where is it? In the Sterling Correctional Facility. What did Thomas do? Well, here's some links down here, and here's a quick rundown. Thomas took his girlfriend's 18-month-old child and smashed the side of its head into the tile floor, and then the front of the child's face in the tile floor, leaving bruising on the child's face and skull. Then he shook the baby so hard that the child had retinal bleeding from your retinas, a blood clot on the brain, and torn brain tissue. Awesome. Great guy. He then called 911. 911, the ambulance showed up, told them, hey, the kid fell down some stairs. Carpeted stairs. Obviously a lie. And then 5 days later, the child died. So he beat the baby, and then it died. Oh, by the way, while the child was in the hospital, doctors looked at it and said, hey, there's scalding marks on the baby's butt. And you know what that happened from? Didn't happen to be from a little bit of hot water that Thomas splashed on the baby's butt. No. Quote, the baby had second-degree scald burn on her buttocks. That is intentional. Second-degree burns on the butt are from him dropping the baby into some scalding hot water, baby screaming, and then him probably then shaking the ribbon crap out of the baby and killing it. So, baby torturer and killer. Awesome. Great. Next guy. And well, like I said, I'm going to go through this quickly. Charles Chuck Garlick. All right. I don't know the entire story with him. It's kind of vague, but basically, he met a guy in an alleyway and shot him in the chest. Some 48-year-old shot a 48-year-old guy in the chest with an AR-15. Drove away. Cops picked him up because they were like, "Hey, this fits the description of a guy that's in a shooting." Cops interview him, and then he says, "Yes, I shot the guy. There's a rifle in my truck," and he cooperated with the investigation. Now, I do not like that he killed somebody, but at least this guy showed remorse, right? If you're going to rehabilitate some guy, I don't know the full story in this. Maybe he was drunk. Maybe this guy got into a fight and he overreacted. Obviously, he should serve a long time in prison, but 20, 30 years, he gets out. He could be rehabilitated, potentially. I don't know the full story. This is the only guy worth potentially saving. Next. Oh, Rich Moreau. He went into a bar and shot 4 people. 4th person died. 4th person that died happened to be a doctor that was trying to save the lives of the 3 other people that were shot. And a witness says that Richard was smiling when he was doing it because he's a sycophant. Now, yes, they're horrible, Daniel. Now, I'm not done yet because the judge had him psychologically evaluated. The judge and the psychological evaluator said, hey, guess what? This guy he doesn't have PTSD from Vietnam. And even if he did, we're not really seeing it come through. He's just a narcissist. So he's just a huge asshole. Well, guess what? Some of the witnesses their testimony was that while shooting people, Richard was smiling, having a good time. Told you that already. But there were also drivers, right, that were transporting him from the jail to court and vice versa. And during these transportations, Richard would make snide comments about the bar that he shot people at because they would pass by the bar called the Sandbar. He would say, we should go in there for a drink, ha ha ha, and make other weird jokes about going into the bar and having a good time where he shot and killed people. Very Charles Manson-y with the face tattoos. Anyway, next guy. Oh, this guy's great. Ryan Kruger, real quickly. He sold a whole bunch of drugs. And he sold drugs to a 19-year-old girl in college. And she would take her MDMA and weed and sell it to a couple of her friends. And then Ryan was like, you know what? I think this 19-year-old girl in college who's buying some MDMA from me to go party hard at some rave is going to snitch on me to the cops. So what does Ryan do? He gets 2 dudes to go find her, and him and the 2 dudes kill her. 19-year-old girl in college, buying a little bit of dope from him so that her and her friends can get high at some frickin' dance parties. That's right. This guy, a veteran, would give a shit less. What does he do? He has a criminal enterprise. And in order to further that criminal enterprise, he chooses to kill a 19-year-old girl, 19-year-old college student. Awesome. Great. That guy's going to be rehabilitated. Okay. Oh, here's our guy that we love. We love this guy. He can be rehabilitated. He's the post quartermaster. Now, if you don't remember this, the other day I posted on Twitter when the VFW said, hey, we've got all of our quartermasters. We're all here at this one place having a good time. I replied with, well, I don't think you have the quartermaster from post 12229 there because he's in prison for grape children. He was giving grape drink to children. The first time that he assaulted a child was in, 1982. He got caught, went to jail. Oh, and then he got caught and went to jail for doing it again in 1989. Two-time offender, a two-time graper. He likes to grape drink children. And then his most recent arrest, what he's in for jail right now, is that the police went to his father's house where this guy, Timothy Alberts, and his turd of a brother lived. And their dad is 91 years old. Well, the police went to the 91-year-old's home because people were saying that it smelled horrible over there and they think he died. Well, he didn't die. He was just being neglected by this guy, his son, well, both of his sons, but this guy as well. Both of his sons, of which Timothy Alberts is one. There we go. He was being neglected, so elder abuse. Oh, and while they were, going through the house trying to help the old man, the 91-year-old that they had left to die, they found a whole bunch of ography. A certain type of ography of which children were in, right? A whole bunch of it on computers and such. And also children's underwear, which I know ographies are really bad. But I also, I don't know if it's more or less or just, it's in a different way. It's so disturbing that he had children's underwear. Where did he get it? Whose kid is it? Did he just buy it? Did he steal it? Did he find it? Ugh. So, who said 30 years worth? 30 years worth of what? Of the ography? Of the children's ography? Ugh. Anyway. So, yeah, this guy. So, all the ography in a bunch of kids' panties, and that's what he's in prison for now. This guy. This guy could definitely be 2019. 2019 he got caught, so 5 years ago. And here is a guy. Oh, Brandon Allen. This guy's up for parole in 2026. He broke into a woman's house, a school teacher in Colorado, tied her up, and gave her grape drink for 3 hours and suffocated her with a pillow multiple times and told her he was going to kill her. And 3 hours. 3 hours he did that. 3 hours he gave her grapes. You could watch the entirety of Titanic. That's how long this guy gave this woman grapes. And he is in post 12226. Isn't that great? Isn't that awesome? Isn't that a person you can rehabilitate? Now, I said, once again, if you want to rehabilitate people, then do it to people that are worth rehabilitating. There should be a line. There should be a cutoff. Rob a couple banks. You break into a jewelry store. You're hooked on dope like you're hooked on phonics. You know what? We can probably work with that. The dope, absolutely. If it's like, dope crimes, we can work with that. But the things that these people are doing, how are you allowing them into your fellowship? So let's get down to the brass tacks here, right? what are we here for today? We're here for not just me to introduce to you this horrible story that I want the VFW to fix, because I like the people of the VFW. I like the individual posts. I think that people make mistakes. I think that the VFW headquarters and the Colorado group here are making a very big mistake. Let's go over to the VFW, the Colorado VFW's official response. Now, here's a red flag. Shortly after the VFW from Colorado posted this post that I'm about to show you on Facebook, boomer move, they took it down. Oh, VFW of Colorado, you took it down. Is it because you're ashamed of it? Is it because it's tone deaf? Is it because you're not, I would say, respecting the victims of these heinous crimes? I would say so. I would absolutely say so. What do you think, Daniel? Oh, Daniel says that the gentleman that did that to the woman for 3 hours should go into the woods with Dick Cheney. I would say yes. I would agree with that. That makes sense. But that means he would come back out, and I don't think that. Anywho, so the VFW of Colorado posted their response on Facebook and then deleted it, I think, an hour or two later after some responses, well, in the comments section, I guess just maybe shined a light on their inability to see what they had done from a victim's point of view, we'll say. Zach says the VFW needs to give unsub me and Veteran with a Sign their funding, and we can save more lives in 1 year than they have in the past decade. They wouldn't, you know what? You wouldn't be wrong, buddy. Wouldn't be wrong. For the amount of money that they're spending on stupid shit, I think that they would support veterans online. And you know what? Honestly, I don't think I'd take any of their money right now. They'd have to do some serious changes and make some apologies before I even took a cent from the VFW. However, the American Legion, if you want me to support you, I got your back. But let's go into the VFW's response. All right. This is what it looks like. Ta-da. I'm sure it looks a little small on your screen, so I'm going to try and read it from this. All right. So this is from the VFW Department of Colorado's Facebook page. It's official. By the way, VFW, I don't know if you know this, but just because you delete it from the internet doesn't mean that it's gone. Because whenever I do a story on people, you fantastic weirdos out there, well, you take screenshots of dumb things that the other people do in response, and then you send them to me. And I appreciate you for that. You're going to make Drill Sergeant cry. You're going to make Big Drill cry here, privates. Don't make Big Drill cry, privates. Don't make me cry, privates. Don't make me cry. Don't make me cry out of pride. You take screenshots of people's responses whenever I make videos of them, and you weirdos make me so proud, because that's exactly how I found out about this, and how even though the VFW from Colorado deleted it, we can still talk about it today. I think we should get into it. Recently, the VFW Department of Colorado and Sterling Correctional Facility in Sterling, Colorado have come under scrutiny concerning VFW Post 12226. What does scrutiny mean? Let's look that up. Get out of here. A searching, examination, or investigation. Yes, I would say I scrutinized. I had an examination or had a minor investigation into the VFW Department of Colorado and the Sterling Correctional Facility's VFW Post 12226. That's true. Okay. For clarification, I didn't know I needed any additional clarification on what was going on. I thought I broke it down fairly easy in the video. I said, I don't like that they put these bad guys in the VFW. I don't like that they associated these bad men with the VFW. I support rehabilitation, but I just think there needs to be a line drawn. That was pretty much the whole video. So I didn't think it needed clarification, but, you know, hey, let's look into this a little bit more. For clarification, they say, Post 12226 was instituted, love that they used instituted. They are in an institute to serve as a support to veterans' unique rehabilitation process and reduce recidivism by promoting personal development and accountability through shared camaraderie. Ooh, I think they made a mistake because they seem to have a shared camaraderie already. VFW post 12226, VFW of Colorado. Their shared camaraderie is that of touching children and murdering people. Baby smashing on ground, shake so hard, brain no work, baby sleep forever. Or gross old man, touch kid, go jail 2 times for it, bunch of bad video. Those guys are their comrades, all right. How would I end the murderers? Oh, yeah, they're they can. So you know what? I don't want to have camaraderie with somebody who murders and touches children. I don't want to have any shared camaraderie or experience or develop a person who gives grape to a woman for 3 hours while she's tied up in her home. I don't want any of that. But let's read on. Psychological support is crucial in changing the behaviors and mindsets as required to successfully integrate into society. The people that I just read aren't integrating back into society because they are in jail for life. They're serving life, sometimes multiple, sometimes life plus 40 years in prison. By the way, how are you going to change the behavior and mindsets of a guy that keeps doing stuff to kids since 1982? He's been doing it for longer than I've been alive. He's a self-admitted ophile of the pediatric variety. And Pete, you know what I mean? You picking up what I'm putting down? For over 40 years, that guy has been into, sometimes literally, kids. How am I going to change his mindset? Why would I psychologically support a guy who gave grape drink to a woman for 3 hours while he tied her up in her home, suffocated her multiple times with a pillow, and threatened death? Maybe these people are in prison because they're bad. Maybe you can lose veteran status if you're a turd. People get dishonorable discharges. They lose their veteran status and benefits. Can they not lose them after serving honorably because they, grape drink people? By the way, I'm trying to say grape drink. We all know why. This video will be shut down so fast by YouTube. And I really think the VFW needs to see this. Let's continue. The Sterling Correctional Facility warden and the Colorado Department of Corrections, to include correctional officers who are members of the Post, support the Post initiative and are seeing positive results. Okay. So we've got people in the Department of Corrections, so guards, that are also in this VFW. I like it. Can we get rid of the kid touchers? Can we say, hey, you can join our club if you don't murder the baby? If you don't touch the child? Can we not come upon an agreement with that? Is that too over the line that we can say, you know what? The guys that don't really deserve to be in a nice, friendly group in prison, they deserve to be in prison. They should stay that way, right? Can we not have a cutoff of, this felony was kind of bad? You're going to make it a person-by-person basis. Guy by guy, dude by dude, charge by charge, and say, you know what? The way that he did this is not so great. Let me get my headset on because I believe my good friend, Veteran with the Sign, is going to chime in here in a moment. See when he pops on, but we'll keep reading. They're seeing positive results. Okay. Honestly, and like here's the thing too, and it's going to sound a little bit heartless. I don't care if there's any positive results at all. Some of these people are animals and deserve to be locked up in a cage. Some of them should be not here anymore. Like this guy. This guy should be not here. This guy should be not here anymore. He should be not here. He should be not here. He should be not here. He should not get the ability, nor should this person get the ability to have fun or have camaraderie. No. Nope. Nope. Sorry. You gave that up. You in, Punky Brewster? I can hear you just fine, and I've got you turned up. Oh,
listen.
Boom. Whoa, geez, I got you in the Discord. Hold on. Oh man. Oh, do I have it? Let me change something. Boom. Boom. Making moves. I'm gonna finish reading this thing with you real quick.
Keep going.
I'm just setting up the additional window for window capture. Where is it? Display? No. Boom. Got it. Okay.
I'm here.
So far, I'm up to. They support the Colorado Department of Corrections to include correctional officers who are members of the post. Support the positive initiative and are seeing positive results. I just got up to that.
Go.
Just said why I don't give a shit because some of them shouldn't be on this earth anymore. And finishing the last sentence of the second paragraph. All involved, which includes corrections officers and the inmates as well. So it's corrections officers and inmates are in this post.
Okay, not important.
All involved will continue to closely monitor the efficacy of this post in meeting its intent. Hold on.
Keep going.
I was an English major, and words are important. Let's look up efficacy. Hope I put it spelled wrong. Okay. Efficacy. The capacity of producing a desired result or effect. A measure of the success of a vaccine or other pharmaceuticals when used in the control environment of a clinical trial as opposed to the real world. So capacity of producing a desired result or effect. I believe their desired result or effect, like they said earlier, is reducing recidivism by promoting personal development and accountability through shared camaraderie and giving psychological support to those who need it so they can change behaviors and mindset and successfully reintegrate into society. So guys that, give grape drink to children and have an ography from, a pediatric unit, a pediatric ography, you might say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Those are the people that we want to have camaraderie with, and those are the people we want to change. And even though they have life sentences, we want to help rehabilitate them. So that's the efficacy. Now here's the next part. Let's see. Let's go. It's worth noting, I don't know what's worth it, but it's worth noting that this model for enhancing support tools to incarcerated veterans is similar to that of other veteran service organizations, which have well-established posts in correctional facilities, many academic institutions, and faith-based ministries across the country. Now, let's break that down in one half, and then then you and I are going to gab about this because it sets me off. Okay. So
he turned me down. They're saying I'm loud now.
Yeah, that's right. I turned down chat a little bit. Talk again for me.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. The VFW has horrible people involved in their prison program. Is
All
that
right, you're good? I got your volume.
did,
Perfect.
did that work?
Yeah, I got you.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's not you. I got all the doodads fixed now. So they say it's worth noting that this model for enhancing support tools to incarcerated veterans is similar to that of other veteran services organizations, which have well-established posts in correctional facilities. So their excuse is, well, somebody else is doing it, so we can too. Well, they might be doing a better job of it. They might not be having murderers and grape people in it.
They don't.
So that's one, right? Many academic institutions, let's go with academia, right? They're talking with these people to try and understand them psychologically, medically. There's an evaluation there. They're getting something back in return. Hey, you work with me so I can figure out the criminal mind, etc., how other people do it, and we can both benefit. You get, a couple extra spicy Cheeto bags from the commissary, and I get a couple information. You like that joke? You look like you're holding something in.
No, we've both been around prison culture a lot. Yeah.
Dude, the jalapeno Cheetos, Flamin' Hot Cheetos.
Ever had a prison burrito? Yeah.
That'll save your booty hole. So there's the academic and faith-based ministries across the country. Listen.
I'm listening.
VFW ain't about saving your soul for the afterlife. You done fucked up in this world, and now you're in prison. And guess what?
Yep.
There is a way for salvation. That's totally right. You don't have to be an animal your entire life. But you know what? You know what? That's between you and God. Have a nice day. Enjoy your God. Hope he forgives you. You're still locked up. To quote Jesus, give God what to God and give to Caesar what is Caesar's. So, you know what you owe Caesar in this, which would be the United States or the Colorado Department of Corrections? Your life. You owe him a life sentence because you took one or you took a kid. Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Analogy? I think I like that analogy.
Here's the thing.
Tell me the thing.
I have directly seen programs in my life and in friends of mine's life, veterans court in particular, drug court. I've seen these with people very close to me, and I have seen the life-changing benefits of these programs that have, decreased recidivism and all these different things, et cetera, et cetera. That being said, none of them at all have any level of violent, horrible, heinous crimes associated with them, much less an endorsement from an organization such as this. This is something that Rich and I have talked about when this story first came to his attention. And, first off, it's crazy that they're explaining the law to a detective. It's literally in his name, Angry Cops. I would pump the brakes, PR team.
Right. You might want to.
And we're not saying that veterans shouldn't be involved in this. What we're saying is that, the smallest attention to detail of hey, who are we putting in positions of authority here? Right? Who are we saying thumbs up to? We like them. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know how it passed. I don't know who co-signed this. I don't know why they take such.
I know who co-signed it. I know who wanted it started. It was the nice lady in the VF. What? She's right here. State Commander Carol Thomas. It was her idea. She's a captain in the corrections facility, and she's like, what this place needs? It needs a VFW post. And like I said, sure, okay, rehabilitate people. That's great. Make a line in the sand. Holy shit. Make a line where you can be individual, charge for charge. All right, this guy shot a guy and killed him. It was pretty cut and dry. He was drunk. He got upset. He didn't pre-plan it. He just made a horribly dumb, drunk decision. That could be, like I said before, serve 20, 30 years. You killed somebody. The family is going to be very upset. But you made a horrible mistake. You weren't in the right mind. We can rehabilitate you. Go to AA meetings, have the VFW. Yeah, that's fine. Not a guy that ties up a woman in her home, abducts her, and then suffocates her with a pillow, and then gives her grape drink for 3 hours straight.
Yeah. And I don't know what words to say, so stop me if I get close to them. Because I don't, like you said, we're using
We got to use
coded
code
language
words.
because we want this to be seen. Because the reality of it is this is an organization that just celebrated its like 125th year,
Which is awesome.
which is awesome and incredible. I'm truly grateful for it. I've always been grateful. Like all BS aside, like it broke my heart everything that happened, because it's the reason people don't like veterans as a whole is we're like backbiting and like always on each other about like the weirdest stuff. But like this is a pretty clear line in the sand of where we need to stop, right? I don't know why this has to even be talked about, but like when they made their campaign attacking everyone who wasn't using them, I thought that surely they would like take an inward look, or when the commander in chief was supposed to call me and he never did. Like all those different, I thought they'd be like, let's look inward, let's try and help this organization. I could not have anticipated that this is what would happen next. Or that they would put up a Facebook post and delete it like a few hours later. It just, they're, what is it? Is it called cognitive dissonance? Is that the phrase?
Perhaps.
Is that it?
Let me read for you one of the comments
I don't know.
that somebody commented underneath it before the VFW of Colorado deleted their post.
Okay. Hit me with it.
Most of the ones leading the VFW 1226 are serving life. Not sure we need to worry about them repeating their crimes. That's
What?
true. Although the guys that rape women and kids might be continuing to give grape soda out to other people. In addition, how is the VFW helping them not to reoffend? How is having a VFW post inside of a prison helping a podiatrist file not go back after children? He likes children from 1 to 8 years old, right? Last I checked, there's no cure for that type of X-Files. Well, I know there's a cure. It's about a 1 ounce slug. So what has the VFW come up with to cure this? Oh, and he is serving life. Diagnosed narcissistic mass shooter. Also, no known cure. Also serving life. The grape guy who's trying to turn over his VSP designation, which is VSP is like violent. It's a violent sexual predator is what VSP is. It's violent sexual predator. That's the guy that tied up the woman for 3 hours.
He's trying to overturn that, and he's up for parole in 2 years.
He's trying to overturn his designation. Cool. He tried to already. He failed. It could be a second attempt at trying to overturn it currently. And he's up for parole in 2 years, May 2026. I pray to God he doesn't get it. The quote continues, or the comment continues. I bet that teacher, a.k.a. his victim, and his old neighbor feel good about that. I can keep going. Question for the VFW. How are you verifying military service? What, like, that's another thing too, right?
Are they using GovX?
I mean, right? What are they using to verify these guys? I got a
verify
14 that my friend printed off the internet, and I can.
He just like lifts up his shirt. He's like, here it is.
This stolen valor, man. Sir, those are stab marks. Nah, man, I was bayoneted in Korea.
Yeah.
Sir, you were too young to serve in Korea. Nah, I mean Vietnam, man. I'm in Vietnam. Oh, okay, sir. Would you like to be the quartermaster? Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel.
Yeah.
Like Daniel, I said it. You're agreeing with me. There's no doubt that, I've read that wrong. He says there's no doubt that guys like you and I do more for the veterans community, and we have great hearts, and God bless us, and I appreciate that, Dan. And I think
we could literally just start like an emergency fund. Like if I had like 10% of that donation, do you know what I would like? One of the things, first off, if you're a veteran, I would find a way to pay for like gym memberships, put people in gyms immediately who aren't in gyms, things like little things to change their quality of life, and then start connecting people. Like come meet us at
get like free.
Some places do, some states, like my state, you can actually anywhere this like a rec center you can actually use for free. Like, but little
like the Y. I thought the Y allowed.
Yeah, most Ys. It just depends. But like that could be fun. There's like endless things that we could do. We could put more MRVs out there going. This is the SEC MRV. Like, just meet up. just fine people. It wouldn't be supporting great people or whatever. It would be supporting people in the community, getting people the help they need, funding mental health assistance. Anything could be better. I just, who wrote the comment below that? There will always be naysayers and attackers. Defend your choice in this initiative. This is how we not only make veterans' lives better, but we make the country stronger.
Dude.
Wrong. You should not be allowed to vote, whoever that is, on anything.
You want to know
on anything at all?
I blacked out his name intentionally. I said
send it to me later.
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I haven't done any searching on the Facebooks. I haven't looked for him yet. But what I would assume is I'd assume he's a buddy of or some sort of VFW individual that knows the people that I disagree with in the video, right? And he's probably like, no, man, we need to help veterans. Dude, I don't think you saw my video.
That's not what we're talking about.
And
again,
let's just say he's a normal guy, right? Let's say he's a normal guy. All he does is read the VFW's comment and be like, why is everybody picking on the VFW? This right here is why
they get millions of dollars every year. Millions of dollars. And every time I ask people, where does it go? Or can someone point it in a direction? They can never show me what that direction is. And day in and day out, it bothers me. And I'm not saying I have all the answers, but I feel like I don't know. There needs to be a radical intervention or something that happens from the top down. Because what they're saying by having these types of people that they're funding directly, what they're saying is that they're literally endorsing this type of behavior. They're saying it's okay to do this, basically. Because it's under the guise of rehabilitation, but there are some things, you've spent a career in law enforcement. You know that there are some things that are just uncurable, is what we'll say. Well, there's one solution. One solution.
There is an investigation that I'm looking into.
Easy. Yep.
And the person being investigated has been a grape artist since he was a teenager. Keeps it going. Keeps it going. Keeps it going and going and going and going. Just don't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. That's his motto. And there's a guy I was watching some interviews today to get my mind back. I'm back in another unit. Mm-hmm. And it's the touchy unit. It's the one where, you see the victims and you deal with them and you go, what monster did this to you?
Mm-hmm.
And it's brutal. Those people that commit those crimes are animals.
It is the most highest level of evil. It is the greatest.
Because you're stealing the innocence away from a child.
A child, their whole lives are altered. And there's things that are I'm trying to use the right language. I don't want this to get flagged, but it's almost like you've put them on a path towards damnation, to be honest. Mm-hmm. Because just to find some sense of normalcy afterwards will take a lifetime of work.
And there's a lifetime
I used to know
the stats.
Those people don't have those resources. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
There's stats that basically say if you were assaulted, there's a 25 to 30% chance. It's or a 20 to 25% chance that you will now basically if 100 people were assaulted by somebody, right?
Yeah.
There's a 20 to 25%, so 20 to 25 individuals will then go on to assault somebody else. It is a crescendo. If somebody does it, it's a 1 in 5, 1 in 4 chance that the victims will then eventually do that later on down the road. And it's been imprinted in them. It's oh, I can do this, or I need to make somebody else.
It's like they're vampires or something. They just pass a disease on, indefinitely, and it takes radical change to stop it. And I don't know. I'm really messed up about this, to be honest, because the more I think about it, and the more I think about it, the more upset I get that like they're like pushing back on you. Like VFW Colorado's like, you don't understand, officer of the law.
Hey, listen, hey, angry cops. You know what? We're not going to call you out by name. We're just going to say there's been a problematic video post about us. And
Yeah.
people just don't understand people that are incarcerated. No, I understand them. I understand them pretty good, especially the ones that I talked about in the video, the ones that I have a big problem with. They're the guys. Could you imagine being like a VFW guy? Like you're in like post 5 million, whatever it is, out of Boulder, Colorado. And, you're just waking up one day and you pop on, the YouTubes, and my video comes up and you find out from my video that the guy that offed one of your loved ones or touched one of your loved ones is now a VFW member just like you? What?
It's an open endorsement.
It's an insult. It's an insult to VFW, and I don't understand why they would do that. Once again, to be clear, with these individuals and the likes of the individuals that I talked about, if you touch a kid, you don't get to have group meetings with friends. Nope.
Game over.
Game over, dude.
Game over.
I got upset with my girlfriend's 18-month-old, so I decided to smash its head in the ground, scald its butt with scalding water, and then shake it so violently that I tore its brain tissue. Oh, you're you know what, man? You're okay. Why don't you come over and hang out with us in our club?
Didn't you break down the language that the press release said? One of the guys said that we are not the mistakes. We are not our mistakes or whatever.
Oh, let me pull up the
because I remember one of them said that. It was something to the effect of like, we are not our mistakes. Brother, you are. You for sure are.
Yes.
This is not, I had a crippling drug addiction because they gave me opioids when I got blown up, or the VA gave me this, or blah, 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 blah. None of that stuff. This is evil.
All right, cool. Let me pull up the article that the VFW had.
Their press release. This like went through.
Release. This was.
There's no telling how many people like got eyes on this, and they were like, "Let's run it."
This is what got my attention. A friend of mine. I won't say his name because I don't want to give him any. I just don't want to put him on the spot. I know that he would be fine with it, but I just don't want to, just in case. This was posted in August 27th, 2024. So just a couple weeks ago, right? And when he gave it to me, I think it was a week old. And I started looking into it because I needed more. I needed a lot of information.
And we can be better than our.
So it's literally, you're right. The VFW article is called "We Can Be Better Than Our Mistakes." It's not hard to be better than diddling a child. You just don't do that. It's not hard to be better than slamming an 18-month-old's face in the concrete and then shaking it to death. It's not that hard to be better than that. You could just walk around and shit into like baby baskets, and it's still better than what that guy did. But here we go. Let's see some of these things. We'll read some of the pieces of the article. The decision to grant the Post's charter was not without controversy. Some have had a hard time seeing incarcerated people as veterans. You're damn right. Sometimes I see incarcerated people as the monsters they are, said Stewart, who has been incarcerated for 19 years. We must change that paradigm. We must show we can be better than our mistakes. Bro, I don't give a shit what you say when you're the guy that got caught doing whatever. Isn't Stewart the guy that shook the baby? I think that's Thomas Stewart. Hold on. Yeah, that's Thomas Stewart. So the guy that smashed the baby's head into the ground and shook it to death and scalded its butt with boiling hot water says, some people have a hard time seeing incarcerated people as veterans. Dude, yeah. What he's doing is he's trying to minimize the crime that he did and be like, well, you know what? I've served enough time now. People should forgive me. We should not have to do anything to you. I'll forgive you on my own. And I don't really have to give a shit. Anyway.
Yeah, it's just someone trying to justify who they are with their military service and the reason associated with it. But the reality is, you're just bad.
You're just a turd. You're just a turd,
You're just
dude.
bad. You're just bad.
Hey, man, I
Has
made a
nothing to do
mistake,
with
but I'm a veteran.
47 years in the Navy doesn't mean anything. Whatever it was, like you're just a bad person. Like the connection between military service and trauma, it can happen, but it doesn't mean it's guaranteed, and it's definitely not. Like they're trying to wrap themselves with it, wrap it like a blanket.
And one of the things that I say in the video is this quote from the then, I don't know if it still is, but it is the then, to quote it. Then VFW Department of Colorado Commander John Keene presided over the institution of the VFW post. Our motto is no one does more for veterans, Keene said. Funny because they shit all over you. There are no qualifiers in that. It just says vets. In my mind, a veteran is a veteran. Unless he's dick deep in your child, bro. How?
Who's so they're all right. Our motto is no one does more for veterans. That's not true. They serve one of the smallest demographics of veterans, only veterans of foreign wars, right? The American Legion literally serves more people and has more members than them. So that alone itself is just a lie. There is no qualifiers in that. Also, you have to be a veteran of a foreign war, literally a qualifier. Language is important. It just says vets. That's not true. In my mind, a veteran is a veteran. Literally, just
A veteran is a veteran,
lies.
no matter how small.
Yeah.
It's from Horton. Here's
And why do they have all these criteria?
But he goes on to say there are no qualifiers in that. No. You made it a qualifier when you with VFW, Veterans of Foreign Wars. Your qualifier for you is a foreign war in order to join your club.
And this post in particular, you have to commit heinous, horrible crimes that scar people and their families forever.
Forever.
So
Imagine being that
Forever.
woman that survived 3 hours. 3 hours.
what
in
a
her home.
what a
In her home. Dude, I had somebody steal something off my front porch and I couldn't forget it. I couldn't forget it for like a week. That was just like an Amazon package. Who gives a shit about that? But I felt like violated. I was like, oh my God. I'm not off my own porch? What's going on? Oh, like now imagine like having that happen to you in your home. How do you ever feel safe again? I would carry a pistol with me forever. Oh my God.
I mean, from the top down, this whole organization needs to be dismantled. I can't say anything else. I feel like Gerard Butler in like Law Abiding Citizen,
Yeah.
where he's like, I want to bring this house like down upon
Wow.
itself. Like,
So Sheridan, who I believe is, I don't believe Sheridan is a convict. I think that they're a corrections officer that is in the post.
and chat and everyone watching, just so we're clear, if Rich isn't exactly right, it's because there's so many people that have committed so many horrible crimes. He has to reference each one each time. So apologizing on his behalf because there's so many different bad people involved.
So
But
this guy,
he'll clear it up. Yeah.
Sheridan. Here we go. Oh, the VFW Department of Colorado Chief of Staff Jim Sheridan states, "We're stepping into a new era. I had fellow brothers in here who deserved a chance to show themselves." I think they showed themselves, man. I think the guy who was already involved in like moving drugs and then decided that his criminal enterprise could be thwarted by a 19-year-old college girl who might tell the police, deciding to then take two other guys and go kill her to further his criminal enterprise. I think that guy showed us who he was. That's ta-da. Auxiliary President of Colorado. "We value every veteran. We believe the purpose of prison is rehabilitation, and this helps with the rehabilitation of our veterans. Anything we can do for vets and their families to support them in all they do will make an impact in our communities." Not if they're serving life. If they're serving life, they're out of our community. There's a reason they're out of our community, because they're violent felons. They're violent VSP, sexual predators.
What a so it says here in one of the, I'm trying to read. So Garlic, what are his crimes? Pull him up.
Garlic is the guy that he shot a 48-year-old guy in an alleyway. Like, I think I might be wrong here, but I thought the two exited a bar, and then
Yes, one of them
Garlic
did that.
met him
Yeah.
in an alleyway, shot him with his rifle, and then got in his truck and drove away. And then, but immediately upon capture, he told the police and cooperated with the police, told them where the rifle was in his truck and all this other stuff. So
Okay,
I don't know the full story there.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, not knowing the full story, he's the only guy I think that you could be given like, all right, cool, man. Like, you kind of fucked up and killed a guy. Doesn't seem like you stalked him. I don't know the ins and outs of that individual thing, but like, okay, cool. It's not as bad as everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. What about Moreau? Or Moreau?
Moreau said, we're able to hang onto a form of honor that is not normally accessible in prison. Moreau, let's see. Let me see Moreau. It's Brandon Allen. It's Kruger. Here we go. Oh, Moreau. He's a piece of shit. He's a Vietnam veteran that killed a guy and shot 3 other people in a bar. Went into a bar, shot 3 people. 4th guy was a doctor, was trying to save the people, and then he killed him. And then witnesses said that he was smiling while he was doing it.
Okay, so, all right. This is what I'm talking about. So for something like this, a press release to be made, the amount of hands it had to pass through, the PR agencies, the people involved, do you think they could have put the smallest amount of time towards, like, who are we amplifying here? Who are we talking about? Because look right there, it says this is a really neat situation for a guy in prison to be a part of this brotherhood. We're able to hang on to a form of honor that is not normally accessible in prison. It is something to feel good about. What are we doing?
We're making bad guys feel good, buddy. We're making murderers and touchers of the youth feel good. I'm the one they call it feel good. I'm the VFW and fuck up all the time. I'm the one that makes you feel good. There's some kid in. Never mind.
Here's the thing. Call me old fashioned.
Okay.
Call me old fashioned. I'm just not big on violent predators or criminals or people that have really done all these different things, having a level of comfort in their lives. I just don't care. I just don't care. My family has been ravaged by addiction on both sides of my family. I've seen what it does to people. This is not that. This is all of these are really, really violent. There's only one guy who didn't do something with like a mass murder situation. And like, I don't know. This is why I love you and I love what you do, because you're able to provide both a veteran military perspective and you are a current police officer. So, but I'm glad that he says it's neat. This is a really neat situation for a guy in prison. That's not neat. You know what's neat? I have a Deadpool holding my remote controller to my game right now. That's neat.
That's neat.
That's neat. Let me show you neat. This is neat. Look at that. Isn't that something? He just look at him. He just holds it. It's crazy.
I've got lights on my computer that I got from Zydax. That's pretty neat.
That is also an example of neat.
That's pretty neat.
A guy who shot 3 people in a bar and then shot the other person rendering aid while they're rendering aid. That is the opposite of neat.
I would say that's a bummer. That's a downer.
I don't have any answers. I just wanted to. Someone just said Diddy's getting arrested. I just in the chat. I don't know if that's true or not, but I really just want.
Well, Diddy can join the VFW. You think he's diddled enough people? You think he's given grape drink to enough people?
I don't know. I don't know if he's neat enough for them.
I don't know if he's neat enough. You know what would be kind of neat is if P. Diddy joined them. That'd be cool. That'd be kind of neat. Join the VFW with all these guys.
Who's making? It's just I don't know who's making decisions anymore. I don't care. 125 years and all they do is swing and miss. I don't know anyone that they've helped. I don't know what they do. I just know they get millions of dollars, and I don't know where it goes. That's all I know for sure.
Bro, you want to talk about swing and a miss? Like, I can understand them trying to help out veterans in prison.
Why not fund a veterans drug court?
I can understand that they made a mistake and said, "Oh man, we weren't supposed to be helping like guys that touch kiddos. You know, we should fix that." What I don't understand is the video that I made, them obviously seeing it, and then their response is to shoot me down and say, "Hey, just for clarification, we're doing this to rehabilitate people." I know. And the people that you chose, no. Bad. No bueno. Not neat. Anti-neat. And their response is, yeah, but we're doing this for camaraderie and helping people out. Don't you think about, what's that?
I don't care. Yeah.
I don't care. I
don't care. Violent sexual predators are lonely the rest of their lives. I don't care. I don't care if people who, kill 3 people, then someone who's rendering aid are alone. I don't care. You shouldn't care either. It's insane. It's literally insane that this is happening. Yeah. Like, there's no other word to describe it. Like,
the only thing they get is God's forgiveness and punch from the punch bowl at the pancake social that they have on Sundays when the youth groups come over there to talk to them about the Muslim Brotherhood or Yahweh or JC. That's it. That's it. You get a free prayer rug if you're with the Muslim Brotherhood. You get a free prayer rug. All right. You get some holy water from the Catholics. All right. You get Palms on Palm Sunday. You get the wafers. You get the delicious Jesus wafers, for communion. You get to munch on those. Little Jesus cracker for you. All right. And then if you're Jewish, you get a cool hat. You a cool little hat you get to wear around.
It's funny because me and you have been around so many different types of prison ministries that you were able to name them all.
Pretty not bad, right? Not bad. My dad used to do that. My dad used to go inside New York State prisons and evangelize to the prisoners. But I believe they were getting out. I'm not sure if they were all murderers and stuff. But I remember going on the outside.
It's usually trustees and stuff, people that don't actually, honestly, people who have committed crimes, most often associated with substance abuse or things like that. It's not really attributed to their dark, rotten souls.
I don't think there's a lot of groups going into supermax prisons, into the hole and pulling out the Jeffrey Dahmers. Hey Jeff, I hear you like the taste of penis. Would you like the taste of this little light of mine? He's gonna let it shine. No, Jeff. Okay. As Jeff starts. Oh God, Jesus, Jeffrey's eating me. Oh, I'm just trying to share the good news, Jeff. No. It's my wiener. He bit off my dick. He bit off my dick.
I can't.
I don't want to say, I'm not wishing this on anybody. I'm just getting a glimpse into the future. I wonder how many people are going to get shivved at the next VFW meeting.
It's just.
You think they're going to overstarch their pointy little hat and try and slit somebody's throat with it? With the crease?
Why
are you hiding your laughter?
Because I can't. I'm just trying. It's a funny concept that they're using their hats, which I hate the most, and then they're turning them into weapons. Mm-hmm. It's they're like discount Peaky Blinders,
Oi, you talk about your veteran status today, huh?
Yeah. It's all right. I just never thought we'd live in a world where it would be considered old-fashioned to not care about the, treatment or well-being of violent, horrible criminals. I don't know. It's just hate to be political here, but not my thing. Not my thing. Yeah,
I would be
Imagine what they could do if they funded like veterans drug courts or any of those programs.
I would be less offended if they had a Disney sponsored group in prison. Just everybody, a whole new world. They're all singing and like dancing around each other. They're watching, Beauty and the Beast.
Well, here's the problem with that.
Be our guest.
Half of the charter is not allowed within 500 feet of a Disney, so they probably can't turn on Moana without clearing out the room.
Oof, good call. Good call. That they're not allowed to watch Rugrats because of the diaper, Tommy. Poor Tommy Pickle. They're going after his pickle.
And if that offends you, I don't care. So, yeah, they turn on Beauty and the Beast, and the whole room clears out.
They're like, oh, that Mrs. Potts, man. Oh yeah, I really like Mrs. Potts. Oh yeah.
I was just someone in the chat says I was just casually Googling earlier. V has a whole section on their website for incarcerated veterans. It is insane. Listen, there are veterans programs that, such as Veterans Drug Court that are beneficial. That's completely different. Not for nothing. They did throw opioids at us like right out the gate,
they gave it to us like Skittles.
It used to show, like, I remember there was like an opioid crisis. I know it was. I do it like that. It wasn't a crisis for me. It was in the mailbox every 30 days, bro. It was literally so easy. I just, I don't know. I just wanted to hop on here and just say I love you and what you're doing, and your ability to talk about these things when other people won't or don't is one of my favorite things about you. And I would love for the VFW to go through some radical change because they need it. 125 years. I don't.
125 years in the past 15 have been bullshit.
I don't. Yeah,
just
this is bad.
Because some of their members have stepped on landmines doesn't mean they need to. I could say that. I got blown up. Not by a landmine, though.
Yeah, I got blown up by an RPG. It's fine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
It's fine. Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've done enough damage to the VFW. Oh, well, maybe not. I mean, they've kind of done it to themselves. We really haven't done anything but just tell all the people about it. Zach, tell the people where they can find you.
Please go check out Veteran with a Sign on all platforms, in particular YouTube. I have a podcast on there, the After Action Podcast. The highest, most enjoyed episode is me and Angry Cops himself. If you
talk about the VFW, like when they came after you.
When they attacked me and my character and tried to impact the way I provide for my family. Man, we're not honest at all. Who thought we would be back here? Definitely not me. But yeah, Veteran with the Sign everywhere. Check out the YouTube. And yeah, man. Also, September Suicide Prevention Month. If you or someone you know is in crisis, please text or dial 988. Don't be afraid to get the help you need. That's real. Please.
You know what else? You know what else we should pump on this?
Go.
Let's see. Where is it? Oh, there we go. If you go to vfw.org/contact us, you can let the VFW know how you feel about them allowing kid touchers into the VFW. So all you got to do is, it's up here, it's on the screen. It's vfw.org/contact-us. You can just go to vfw.org and it says, contact us in the upper right. Totally allowable. And you can politely, reasonably, without threats or intimidation, tell them how you feel about this. And I think that's pretty good. I feel like that's appropriate.
Mm-hmm. Or you go on their social media.
Headquarters phone number here as well. It's right next to it. It's 816-756-3390. And then if you want to call up the VFW Washington office, who's that guy that's in charge of the office that he tweeted at us? What was his name? Zach.
Ryan
Gallucci. The Galooch. You can call up 202-543-2239 and let Ryan Gallucci, the Galooch, the Looch, the G-Looch, you can let him know how you feel about, people in Colorado in prisons, letting the guy kid touchers in there. So, Ryan Gallucci, Can't wait to hear your response on Twitter regarding this. I hope you don't delete it like you did the previous ones. And on that note, we will see you next time here on Angry Streams. Hey, VFW, I hope you fix your fucking shit. And I'm going to click the end stream button